I'm Jenny McCarthy-Wilbur. I love it. I love self-help books. See, did you see Stedman say we're doing the right thing, ladies and gentlemen? Getting all this self-help and growing and becoming leaders, that sheeple. Someone else that's going to help us, Jennifer Oliver, who's on the phone. She's got a new book called The Love FitMama Way. I said it wrong. I already screwed it up. Jennifer, are you there?
I'm here. Thank you. You can't screw it up, Jenny.
The Love FitMama Way, Transforming the Core of Motherhood. The book is available right now. Hey, Jen, so what made you want to write this book?
Oh, you know what, Jenny? I found a need. I myself was a trainer, fitness professional, new mom, and I did not really understand how the deep inner core worked. And as a trainer, I found that others were getting injured, and I finally injured myself really badly in the deep core. And we as moms take it for granted that, you know, we're going to pee after we have babies and we're going to have back pain and all those things. But actually, once I dove deeper into the research and understood the core, I realized that this was just information that we could learn and we didn't have to deal with this anymore.
Describe core. What do you mean by that?
So we think of the core as our superficial abs. Most of us think about our six-pack muscles, our obliques, you know, what we're going to have, that bikini body. But what actually comprises the deep inner core is the pelvic floor muscle and the diaphragm. These are the two major muscles. There are four. But these two that are our breathing muscle, the muscles that are at the bottom of our pelvis that have all our holes and actually get the most trauma from childbirth and pregnancy are the ones that we need to focus on and rehabilitate. We go back to the gym, we go do crunches and sit-ups and all the things, wanting to get our bodies back. But actually, what we need to do is just reconnect that deep inner unit that is our core.
Got it. You just defined that so well, Jennifer. I loved it.
Oh, it's so much more simple than we think. That's the thing.
It is. And this book, though, is not only for new mothers, or can it be for any mother?
It is for any moms. And, you know, one of the most common comments I get from people who read the book or find out about the core and the deep inner unit and how to rehab it are saying to me, where were you when I was having kids? And the truth is I don't know where I was when I was having kids. I mean, we're all in a deep fog, right? So it's realizing that it's never too late to reconnect to that deep inner core through breathing, through mindfulness exercises, to actually feel that deep unit, understanding how it feels. And you can do this 20, 30. I mean, I've had clients in their 70s wanting to rehab their core and avoid those postpartum core injuries like peeing your pants whenever you laugh.
Exactly. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Or having your entire uterus fall out.
Totally. And we think we have to do Kegels, Jenny, and do, you know, squeeze at every stoplight. But the truth is that if we're not doing it right, we're actually making the pelvic floor tighter. We're tightening up everything inside, and then it's actually not functioning properly. And that's what leads to the pain and the issues.
Oh, geez, Louise. Maybe I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
And that's the one thing I really teach is to go to a pelvic floor physiotherapist. So this is a therapist that actually does an internal exam to the pelvic floor muscle, your deep inner core, and actually checks it out and says, hey, you know what? You're really tight here. You have some trigger points. Your stitches didn't heal properly. You have some issues here that are going to cause pain or are the reasons why you're having this pain.
Wow. Yeah, because we expect our body to just snap back to normal. Like, everything's brand new again, and that's just not the case.
It's not the case, and the thing is that our expectations force us to put more pressure on ourselves. We have a new baby, we want everybody to come by and visit, we run up and down the stairs, we serve them, instead of sitting, breathing, and allowing people to help us in that time of need.
100%. Tell me about your 10 Pearl pull-ups.
Yes. So the Pearl pull-ups is an exercise, which I actually started calling an inner size, because it's really before you get back to the gym and get back to running and even walking. I always say stay flat for 5, so don't take the stairs for at least 5 days after baby. But the first thing you want to get back into is a breathing exercise that really reconnects that core. So when I talk you through this inner size and I kind of explain these muscles, it allows the neural pathways from your brain to your core to reconnect. Because when we have all that pressure inside our abdomen, when our baby's growing, for years after, we could be actually breathing in a way that our core unit is not working properly, and we need to rehab it. So we don't realize that, and we don't know it. Therefore, we end up with these injuries or issues where it's just a simple inner size every day, taking 10 to 15 breaths, deeply reconnecting to the pelvic floor, the transversus abdominis, another really important deep core muscle, and all of a sudden, wow, our core is working again, and we're not having pain when we're having sex or running around.
Right. And it's being so mindful while in those breaths of that area, correct?
Yes, exactly. At the beginning, it's just about reconnecting and learning, and then once you do it, it'll become automatic.
Muscle memory. You do talk about one of my favorite motivational speakers who I love, Louise Hay. So you have a tip that comes from her teaching, your body hears everything that your mind says to it, which I love. I've got her like you can heal your life book in every room with open it up to that back summary of painful, ailments with the emotion. And every single time it has matched up identical to my issue, whatever was happening in my life.
Jenny, that's one of the things I love about you. You know, your mind-body understanding and the research that you do to look into these things is really the reality of it. I mean, Louise was right. Every single physical issue we have actually leads back to an emotional issue or some sort of trauma that came up that is leading to a fear response or a physical response that comes from first the mind. And absolutely, she is totally correct. I mean, our body, and when I hurt my back, I realized not only was it from a weak core and I hadn't rehabbed my pelvic floor properly, etc. But what I actually realized once I became more mindful of my pain was that every time my back started hurting more, it was related to something stressful going on, me taking on too much.
Feeling supported by the universe.
Yes, Jenny, exactly.
I know which one it is. You weren't feeling supported by the universe.
There you go. So true.
It's true, though, but people don't, I've literally turned on 50 people to just help them to start to make the connection, just to start to open your mind the possibility that it could have a connection. Because, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we were taught this, to be like, shut up, weirdo.
Yeah.
But this,
totally.
I invite you to test it. Test it for yourself. Yes. Let me plug the book again. The Love FitMama Way, Transforming the Core of Motherhood. As a mom, I think feeling guilty is just a part of who we are sometimes. And I know it's not good for us. But on behalf of so many mothers, how do we stop feeling guilty?
Well, I think the first thing starts with realizing that our guilt it's misplaced. It's one of those emotions that we're used to feeling because a lot of the time as women, we're raised to please everybody else, help everybody else, put yourself last. And when we feel this guilt with our kids, it's almost confusing to us because we know we're better moms when we take care of ourselves. We know when we say no and set better boundaries and don't overwhelm our schedules and don't, book too many things and get crazy, that we are better when we take that time and go have a shower, go have a walk. But it's this conditioning, and much like our deep core and the new neural pathways we have to create through breathing, it's these new neural pathways we have to create around this idea of guilt, because it's really just not, it's not what we are actually feeling. It's just a confusion saying, oh, well, I used to have these thoughts that was bad for me, but now I realize I'm so much better. And when I can reframe the word guilt to say, actually, this is going to be a motivator for me to go take care of myself. Because if I'm feeling guilty, it probably means I need it, right?
Totally. And I love the way you say that, just kind of you rephrase it, reword it. Like I used to say, I'm scared to go on stage, and I turned it to I'm excited to go on stage. It's still the same energy, but it has different, feeling.
100%. And that's exactly it. We've been conditioned. We've learned these things. It should be scary to go on stage. These things are scary. But when we can take that nervous energy, that emotion that comes up, it's simply energy in motion. And when we can give it a new title called excited versus nervous, all of a sudden we go, I got this, right?
Right.
We come with a completely different attitude.
100%. I do want to. I know we only have a couple of minutes, but what do you think? Why do you think our intuition is so important? I mean, it's kind of obvious, but I want to hear it from you.
You know what? I think the big thing is that we forget about our intuition. It's almost like this piece that we don't realize is actually our superpower because it's not visible. It's like that superficial versus deep core. We go, oh, I got to work these abs because I can see them in my bikini. But what's actually beneath is that intuition. It's that gut feeling where your body is saying to you, this is what is right for you. Don't follow that external, superficial, whatever you think is right because, hey, I got to get my body back. I'm going to go run a marathon. Okay, until your uterus falls out because you didn't rehab your core, right? And that happens to us in life without listening to our intuition. It's such a parallel, the core and our core values and who we are and our physical core. It's this awesome, beautiful connection.
It is, and then some, and I do ask a lot of authors this because I love different answers because I think they're all important and relative. But how do you tell the difference between your intuition, that intuitive voice, and an egoic voice? Because sometimes they're the same volume and the same feeling.
Yes, and I think that is such a great point to bring up. It's asking yourself in that moment when you're feeling that feeling, is this coming from fear or is it coming from love? And your body, if you ask that question and you quiet and don't answer with your head, your body, your heart, your gut will answer for you and you will know because it's a feeling. It's something you learned before you had words to speak. It's a feeling. And when you can listen to your body talking to you, that's where the magic is. That's where the miracles happen. And when we ignore that and get back into our head and say, I should do this, I could do this, I have to do that, I didn't do this, oh, I'm bad, I'm this, it is taking us down the path where it's just fear and ego versus coming from love, coming from that deep core value of gratitude for just being alive, that you have the opportunity to make decisions and be here now.
Right. Oh, my God. You said that. It was so well said, Jen. So well said. What about my last question is speak to the new mamas that are so tired that to even try to do anything is like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah. You're talking about nervous system fatigue. It's like when your full body, mind, heart, soul, everything is just exhausted.
Yes.
And that is truly what being a new mom is. I mean, you know it best. And it's really one of those things where when we can get out of that superficial desire to go work out, go push harder, go stress our bodies in ways that they don't need, deserve, or desire, in that moment when we're having to keep a young child, a new baby alive, that is the time to tap into our true strength, which is our heart, our lungs, our breathing, reconnecting that core. And then that actually has the side benefit, which is why I teach those Pearl pull-ups breathing, is the side benefit of calming the nervous system. So we're not in that fight and flight and, oh my gosh, I have a new baby, my life is upside down. It's wow. And it's like that perspective shift from scared to excited. It goes from scared to joyful and true peace. It really is beautiful. It's just breathing.
It's so awesome. I hope everyone picks up this book, whether you're a new mama, old mama, or soon-to-be mama. This book will work. Jennifer Oliver, thank you for it. The Love FitMama Way, Transforming the Core of Motherhood. The book is available right now. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you. It was a fun interview.
Thank you so much, Jenny. I appreciate you.
Me too. Ditto. We'll be right back.